Okay, this is what I have to say to the WWE after their Royal Rumble. This is what I have to say to them. You have shown that even though people have known that people have seen wrestling for all this time, that you can still put some shock value into it. Now, just to give you a quick rundown of the matches, I don't have that much time, but in order to give you like a small, quick rundown of these matches, let's go with, okay. You had MVP versus Ric Flair. It was an alright match. I'm glad that Ric Flair is going to stay there, but I just have one question for the WWE. If, as I'm watching Royal Rumble again, I get the replay, I want to see it again. Like, it's something I have to see again. But, I have a question. If you're going to have Ric Flair still stay around, I want to know, like, why, like, what are you going to do with him? Like, unless he wins a title or something, and you're not going to have him beat Jeff for the Intercontinental title. So, unless he wins a title or something, why the heck are you keeping him around? I really don't know why you're keeping Ric Flair around. Like, there's nothing more for him to really do except win. Unless you're going to put a title on him, but, who are you going to have him beat? It's something I don't understand. I'm just going to run down the matches that really actually mattered that night, and there were a few. Then you had Jericho versus JBL. I like this match. I think JBL's timing is a little off, though. From what he used to be, he just seemed like off from the beginning. But he still saved this match. The ending is what saved the match. When Jericho, he did a quick finish, but it's actually the kind of a finish that I really like seeing. As Drew Slater said, it's the kind of finish I love seeing in a match where Jericho just like didn't give a dang. This match wasn't about winning or losing to him. This match was about getting revenge on JBL for what he did, and that adds to the storyline a lot more than just a 1, 2, 3 can add. So, good job WWE on doing that the way you did. And then you had Edge versus Rey Mysterio. I loved this match. This match was now Snitsky's coming out, no one cares. Rey Mysterio versus Edge. This was a great match. It was a great way for Edge to retain the title. I think this was a great way for Edge to retain the title. This match told a whole story, and it ended with the whole, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it was a very great ending to a great match. Edge and Rey Mysterio work very well together. What I noticed is that the Madison Square Garden crowd, more often than not, booed Rey Mysterio when Rey Mysterio would put up some sort of offense that could have him beating Edge potentially. And the crowd erupted when Edge finally beat Rey Mysterio. I think that means the fans are getting tired of Rey Mysterio's whole gimmick of the biggest underdog and blah 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 blah, do things like this. I think they wanted to see Edge win this too. They didn't want to see Rey Mysterio get the title again because that ship has sailed for the most part. Overcoming the odds for Rey Mysterio. Yeah, if you want to really do him something, what I think they should do for Rey Mysterio, I think they should move him to ECW. That's where I think Rey Mysterio should be right now. You can have him on both ECW and SmackDown actually now. So I think that can really work with what you have there. So what did I say? Oh, and I give Flair MVP. I'd give it 3 out. I think gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and I'd give Jericho and versus JBL about 3.5 out of 5 stars. No, I'd give that about 3.5 out of 5 stars. Edge Rey Mysterio, I make it a 4. I make it a 4-star match. Rey Mysterio, Edge, 4-star match, great. Now Randy Orton, this is where my opinion. Here comes the Miz. Okay, here we go. Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. I actually think this is one of the matches of the night, and I will tell you why. I loved the ending in this match. I just loved the ending in this match because the way that they are building Jeff Hardy right now, they're building Randy Orton right now, I think a majority of us knew that, Jeff wasn't going to win this one. But I actually think that gives the title more merit. Jeff is one of the most over people right now, yes, but I think him losing makes him more over with the crowd, and I think when he wins the title, it's going to be that much bigger of a deal. And the ending, the come out of nowhere ending, I don't think that hurt the match at all. I think Randy Orton doing that is like saying, dang, if Orton had not hit that last shot, Jeff Hardy could be champion. But it's those split-second things where if you win cleanly and things like that, that gives it more merit to if Jeff, beats Randy Orton. Because it's not specifically saying that Jeff is better than Randy Orton, but he had more drive to defeat him when the time comes. And personally, I like clean finishes like this. I would rather Randy Orton retain the title, beating Jeff Hardy with an out-of-nowhere move in a match he was losing, than bail himself out with a low blow or a count-out or a steel chair or something like that. Since fans love to complain when Randy Orton does that, I really didn't want to see them. I really didn't I really didn't want to see them, rinse and repeat what happened between HBK and Randy Orton, where HBK wanted vengeance and Randy Orton bailed himself out and blah 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 blah. I really didn't want to see that. So I'm actually glad that Orton won this clean. I think it'll mean more if Jeff Hardy wins the title at the next pay-per-view. I think it'll mean more. Just watch for it. I think so, because they're building this feud a little more. I think Jeff wins, that'll make the feud even more. So yeah. So then I would give that match, I would make that a 4-star match as well. No, I give that about 3 2/4 stars. 3 2/4 stars in that matchup, just because there were a lot of times where there's a couple of missed spots here and there, but overall it was a pretty good match, and it's very well used to build the storyline. And as far as the Royal Rumble goes, I completely, as much as people want to complain about John Cena winning the Royal Rumble and stuff like that, I agree completely with Truth Slayer that John Cena coming out saved that entire Royal Rumble. Who was expecting that? Just tell me, who was expecting that? I mean, you already found out that Big Show wasn't going to be appearing at the Royal Rumble, so who else could you expect at number 30? John Cena was that person that did it, and that moment between Jimmy Snuka and Roddy Piper was kind of fun, but Roddy Piper really needs to to lose a little weight, and Jimmy Snuka, he's barely moving around in there, but he's trying. I think if Jimmy Snuka had done one splash on somebody, the place would have erupted because Jimmy Snuka would have done a splash from the top rope or something. But it was pretty good. But it was an alright Royal Rumble, not the best one, and given the talent, it should have been the best one. But Cena coming out at the very end saved the entire Royal Rumble matchup thing. If you do not believe me, just look at every single pop of everybody coming in and how the crowd was kind of like, nah, okay. I bet you 99.9% of that crowd thought that Triple H was going to win, so they felt like once it came out this was going to be a foregone conclusion. They thought it was going to be number 30 or 29. They thought it was going to be something. Okay? So I really think that the crowd thought that Triple H, and 99% of everybody else, probably thought that it was either going to be Triple H or Undertaker that won. And when Undertaker got eliminated, everybody thought that Triple H was going to win. But as soon as John Cena's music hit, the place erupted. You want to know why? Because the ending could be different. It was unexpected. It was shock value. Everyone was cheering John Cena. Then they went back to the normal thing, but they erupted. And that saved the event, and I thank the WWE for doing that. I really do. Shows even though as much people as know about wrestling, that, that you can still shock them. So overall, I would give this pay-per-view, I'd give it 7.8 out of 10. 7.8 out of 10. There's little things they could have done better. They could have really done without the Kiss Cam segment. They really could have done without it. They should leave those moments on Raw or SmackDown or things like that. And there weren't as many, backstage segments except for that one that I remember. But it was pretty good pay-per-view. So I'll get to put it up there. And I want to see what the other wrestling organizations pay-per-view put up there, so I can review them too, and we'll see how well they're doing. But WWE is starting to step their game up a little bit. There was not one bad match on this pay-per-view, and you cannot say that. I would say that the Royal Rumble was the worst of the night, was the worst match, but just because of some of the things that was going on, and everyone thought Triple H was going to win. But then they saved it for shock value. John Cena saved it. He saved the ending there. He saved this pay-per-view. He made it a 7.8 when it would have probably been a 7. Or maybe even a 6.7. But John Cena saved it. I applaud the WWE. And seriously, fans, stop complaining. I mean, Jeff Hardy's probably going to get a rematch with Randy Orton, and it's not like John Cena's automatically going to face Orton now. Who says Orton's going to be the champion by the time WrestleMania comes around? You don't. So, I'm going to just say that. It was a good pay-per-view. Drew Slayer, great review as usual. I'll put up a review, and y'all have a good night.